Welcome back, everyone that is tuning in, wherever you are in the world, whatever you are doing, going for your morning walk, walking the cat, in the bath, at work, wherever you are. Welcome back, firstly. Today we have a very special guest on the podcast, and we're so excited to chat with her, connect with her more. She's an amazing woman, mother, she's an author, she is a creator, she's an influencer in all areas of life. An amazing mother, as I just said, but she's also on the journey to discovering more about herself, learning, growing, expanding, and sharing with the world everything that she's doing, creating as well. Her name is Davvy. She is amazing, and welcome.
I'm so impressed. Like, you just did all of that without anything written down. I was like, where is he reading this? But thank you. What an introduction. I feel very honoured to be here. Obviously, you guys know I think very highly of you both, and you've helped me a lot in my own personal journey. So, yeah, I feel very, very honoured to be chatting with you today.
We're so excited. We're so excited. And for those who know Davvy, she's been on many different, I guess, reality TV shows. Right, and there comes so much with that. I've personally experienced it, and there's a lot of growth and a lot of learnings through that. Mm-hmm. So, firstly, let's talk about the most recent one. You've only just come off the show, this week.
Yeah,
like, how are you landing? How'd you find it, and how are you integrating this back into your reality? Because I know getting out of that place and off the show is always very ungrounding. I was very ungrounded on there because I didn't know how to regulate myself, but moving into something and experiencing something like this, more conscious, more aware of yourself, knowing tools to use, would have been an absolute game changer. Looking back, I would have been a completely different person and showed up completely different. So how was that for you? Tell us about it.
Well, you and I were on... Our previous shows were on completely different shows to the kind of show that I was just on. So my experience, like your experience, was a whirlwind, and mine was hectic. I'm sure you guys would probably know about maths. And if you don't, it was just like a very different experience, a very negative experience. I was in a completely different time in my life. I was in my mid-20s. And yeah, like it was a very difficult time to try and navigate through. I think you could never really expect the kind of, backlash and opinions and things like that people have when you're on a national television show like that, especially one as popular as maths. So, that experience was really difficult for me, but I learned, just like all difficult things, you learn a lot of lessons, and I learned a lot about myself and did a lot of growth within those, 5 years. And I also, at the beginning of that, I kind of did wrap myself up in cotton wool. So I kind of made this very comfortable comfort zone for myself and my family at home. And, just really enjoyed my small community on social media that was very safe. And I really just liked that, and that was my safe space. So when I got the opportunity to go on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, I was like, hell no. First of all, don't want to be eating any worms. Second of all, am I really ready to put myself back out there like that? And yes, I did learn a lot from maths in my first experience, but nothing taught me more about myself than becoming a mum. So weirdly enough, I actually probably was at my lowest point ever in my life postpartum, even more so than what I was after maths. So
What was the reason for that?
Just a lot. It's, being a new mum. Yeah, I think you think about it and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to have this baby. My life's going to be like, insta perfect, and we're going to have a beautiful nursery and everything's just going to be perfect. Like, get those ideas, write them down, scrunch it up and throw it in the bin, because it's nothing like that. And no one can prepare you for, how challenging being a new mum really is. And it's, you're so excited about this beautiful little baby girl that you're staring at, but you're also mourning the life of the person that you've always known your whole life. Like, can you imagine that? One day you just wake up and you're like, oh, whoa, like, I'm like an adult now. Like, I don't even know how to look after myself. I don't know how to look after my fiancé and my babe. Like, there's a lot, plus all of the hormonal changes that go on. within yourself as well. So it's just a lot to wrap your head around. And I did not ever think that, you know, postnatal depression would hit me personally. I don't think I've ever really said that I was an anxious person or a depressed person. That's never really hit me personally, so I didn't quite understand it. And then when it did like a lot.
And what did that feel like for you? What were you experiencing in your body?
Just sadness, anger, like resentment, fatigue. Just, you know, you're also having no sleep and you're breastfeeding, and it's just a lot. And, you know, it gets to the point, like a lot of mums that I know, you even just look at your partner going off to work and you're like, fuck you. You get to go to work. Like, I'm so envious. So, you know, it's just, there's a lot that goes on. And you know, I was still young. Like, this was only 2 years ago, and I'm still learning and doing all of this stuff as it happens. So you're trying to navigate through this new life and these new feelings and these new emotions. And it kind of got to the point where I did just hit rock bottom, and I was like, do I need to go on antidepressants? Like, I just can't function. I wasn't functioning. And I'm like, I'm just going to try and maybe focus on myself a little bit, you know, maybe get to the gym a bit more, maybe try and slow my mind a little bit, do things I haven't done before, like breath work, and, you know, just kind of be selfish in a way and just take some time for myself, because, like, weirdly enough, us mums like to put expectations on everyone. So for me, I never thought that taking time for myself was doable, because I would just expect everyone to need me all the time. But, you know, no one needs you as much as you need you, for you to be able to be there for everyone else. So the best thing I did was just kind of take some time out for me and just kind of unlearn everything that I have learned. And from there, I just had the best year of my life. Wow. This amazing year of self-discovery, just meeting this new woman. And it was just beautiful. So that was 2021. So my daughter was born in November 2019. Is that right?
She's 2.
I'm so sorry, Mila, if you're watching this. So then there was 2020, which was just 2020. Need I say more? And then, 2021 came around, and I was just like, all right, let's do this. So
and was there a defining moment for you that you're like, right, I'm committing here to that self-development, to giving time to myself, or was it a slow burn? What were the moments in time that allowed you to shift your perspective and start to becoming more aware of yourself?
It was definitely
I feel becoming a mother is a forced becoming aware of yourself moment, right?
Yeah.
I know, and I hear so many mothers that go through the process that weren't aware of themselves until they had the child, and they go, holy shit, I've got all these things to actually learn and discover, because I'm forced into that, because now it's not about me. I'm actually responsible for a human being. I've got to learn and grow and develop with this human being. Otherwise, we're going to both die. Yeah. You know, it's a forced thing.
And also, like, it was forced for me to, like, sit in these horrible emotions. You know, before being a mother, if I felt like that, like, maybe I'd just go have a wine with the girls, or maybe you'd go and do this, or maybe you'd book a holiday, or, like, you know, you just distract yourself from how things make you feel. So I was just sitting with all of these emotions and just going, like, what do I do with them? Like, how do I deal? So it was a slow burn, because I was trying to just do, you know, 1% every day. It was like something, just make a nice cooked breakfast, instead of, like, not eating and then eating something like cheap and nasty just because it's easy, you know, like, just trying to do 1% every day to, like, kind of get me on track. But then I think I just made up my mind. Like, just one day, I remember I was like, I'm going to book myself into a retreat. I, like, hadn't been away from my daughter ever, and I was, like, terrified to be away from her, because I didn't want to give anyone else control, because I'm a helicopter mum. I just wanted to do it all myself, but that's what was killing me. So I was like, I'm going to go away, and I did it, and I spent time away, and I spent time, like, just reconnecting with this me again. And it was the best. And then ever since then, that's just something that I want to do every day. I love connecting with myself. I love like my morning, you know, hot lemon water dates with myself. I love going into my sauna every day. Like I love my dates with me. So that's something that I kind of have just done more of, and ultimately that means, you know, booking myself into like the Cool2beconscious Experience and things like that help me grow. Yep. So yeah, just by choosing me, I've been able to
show up for your daughter.
Yes, and be a better everything. Like be a better daughter, be a better fiancé, like be better at my job. So when the I'm a Celebrity opportunity came around, I was like, do I even want to do this? Because like I am so comfortable, but I'm also like, you know what? I actually feel really good. Like I kind of feel like I could kill this. And, you know, like I feel like I could do my family proud instead of being like, oh, I don't want to put myself out there, too hard, too scary. Like, what about the trolls? Like it was actually the last thing I was thinking of, because I was like, I can't wait to show them. Like, I can't wait to show my family. I can't wait to show everyone. I'm just excited because I knew where I was at. I think in the past, I just didn't really know who I was. Mm-hmm. So maybe I was trying to...
That's all it is.
Yeah.
You didn't know who you were. And going back to that initial troll and the issues that you had with that backlash, where did that start? It was obviously on maths, and there was a few people that weren't liking the person that they were seeing on screen.
Yeah.
Like, who was that person on screen? Who were you showing up as? What was that? And was that your truest self, do you feel? Because I know when I was on my reality TV show, that wasn't me. I was very holding back on expressing a lot. So who were you as a person back then? What's changed since then to now to enable you to really empower yourself to be like, I've got this?
Yeah. So interesting question. I think when I was in my single days, I was very much like independent woman. I don't need no man, like, but I'm going to like try and find the love of my life, because all I want is like love and an emotional connection, but no one's going to know that. I'm just going to be like very walls up, and in return, like, it was always very hard for me to like keep a meaningful connection, because I was always kind of too cool but always wanted more. So I think with every fling I had, it would kind of break me down every time. Yeah. But I also didn't know who I was supposed to be in that situation. And then, yeah, when maths came along, it's a very different situation, because I think even if I was myself, my best self, it may not have come out as my best self. Like, it doesn't matter who you are if you're going onto a reality TV show. There's a high chance it's not going to be a true depiction of who you really are. But I definitely wasn't my best self at all in that point in time. But I also...
where were you at mentally within yourself?
I don't even know. Like, I wish I could tell you. I was just on autopilot.
Yeah. So what was your intent for going on the show firstly?
Well, I got asked. So I basically got handed to me, basically. And I was in a point where I'm like, YOLO, you know. And I think it was like a good shot at fame, potentially. Like, I'd done stints on reality TV before, but they were only quite short and they were just like fun. And also the social media side of things wasn't really that big back then. So you never really quite understood like the cult following kind of thing.
Yeah. The reason why I ask is because for me, yes, it was an amazing opportunity to go on the show, but deep down I was really insecure. I wanted attention and I was seeking love in that way. Yeah. That was the depth of why I went on. As much as I was showing up as a confident dude, I was super insecure. I was putting on a placard. I was putting on a front. And I wasn't actually that at all. I was very insecure and I was looking for love. That's why I was asking, what's the deeper reason for that? Was it the fame? Was it the opportunity to build your brand as a person, as an individual? Yeah. So you could potentially do things that you want to do? I
don't know if I was looking for love as much. Yep. I think I was just loved the idea of the opportunity. And something that I hadn't done before. And obviously, you know, the perks that come with it, a couple new followers, like all of that kind of stuff. I think love was probably the last thing on my mind, because I think I just, at that point, I probably didn't feel worthy of love at that point. I want to get emotional. But I think that's kind of why that was never the forefront of my mind. I was there for the opportunity, and then if love came around, then amazing. But always deep down, I always wanted love.
Yeah. And it's hard because we seek external for this love, but until we love ourselves fully, we don't actually receive this love that is coming externally for us. We'll always close it off.
Yeah.
And that's a massive learning individually for that.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for being honest and recognizing that.
That was actually an aha moment, hence the emotionalness, because I don't even think I've even said that. Yep. So there you go.
Thank you for that vulnerability. Yeah. I'm sure those listening are feeling that too, and this is what these conversations are all about, is creating the space for people to really speak the truth, be vulnerable and open, because it gives others that permission to do the same too. And that is where the true strength is. Like you've just said, there's an aha moment there for you.
Yeah.
And you're going to be able to share this and express this in whatever way that may be.
Yeah.
And coming to that self-love, how did your journey evolve from there to allowing yourself to love yourself more and bring in this beautiful man that's in your life today?
Yeah, so...
Are you getting married to later on in the year?
Married, for real this time. So Jax and I have actually known each other for years. So we had the same kind of group of friends. So we'd do the sneaky pash on the dance floor, out and about, but never really... kind of got together really. So he always worked out in the mines. So he was kind of, back and forth. But I always just loved Jax and the idea of Jax and who he was as a person. But he was very hard to get, which is very odd for me back in my single days, because I felt like most of the time if I wanted something I was to get it.
Davvy Queen Bee, let's go.
So for me to not really have much of a shot with Jax was just made him even more mysterious. But yeah, so he has always been around, but when Maths was airing, he actually came back into my life, and that's when we actually got together through one of the hardest times in my life. So it just kind of shows the kind of man he is, to be there through the bullshit and, just always show up. So it's just, beautiful for him to be there. But even in those early years of our relationship, I was still finding myself. I don't even know if I had much self-love for myself back then. We were still just living on autopilot. I feel like my life only truly began once I had Mila.
Wow. And it's the lack of education around what self-love is what most people are misunderstood around as well. I especially didn't know for a long time. And there's so many different ways to explain what self-love is, and I guess it's individual for many as well. But for me, it's creating boundaries. It's prioritizing you time over anything else. It's speaking your truth, right? It's owning and respecting your word, being integrous, being on time. If you say you're going to be somewhere, be there. If you tell yourself that you're not going to drink this weekend, don't drink this weekend. As soon as you do these things that you say you're not going to do, you lose the self-love. You lose the self-respect. You lose the self-trust. And that's a big one. That was a big one for me. When I started to actually do what I was going to say, I started to feel this sense of respect for myself begin to grow again. I was always that guy that would say, I'm definitely not pissing up next weekend. No, I've had way too big of a weekend. Come Thursday, Friday next week, here we go again.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this loop one more time, Groundhog Day. And those times that I did that and I said to myself, I'll do something and I didn't, my self-respect went downhill. Then I was just becoming destructive because I didn't love myself, right?
Yeah.
So learning and understanding what that means, I think, is a huge journey on its own. And then, respecting those boundaries and who you are with that self-love.
I think I was always such a yes person as well. I gave my energy freely to anyone who needed it. And I think that it was, even with maths, I think that was a bit of my downfall as well. I almost felt like I was acting a little bit because it's I felt like I was there to do a job.
Yep.
So I wasn't really, I definitely wasn't being authentic within myself. If I was, I wouldn't have said yes to signing up for it. But, I've always been a people pleaser. And one massive thing for me since having Mila, like I say no a lot. Like 9 times out of 10, I say no. And like I remember I would look at a text and I would just feel sick knowing like I don't want to go to this birthday dinner, or like all the time. Like I would just be like, how do I get out of this? Like I just don't want to, and my body would just be like, I don't want, and it's so simple. Like, hey babe, I'm so sorry. Like can I take you out for breakfast, or can I take you out for brunch, or something that like I know I'm not going to be like tired, or where I can be my best self and I can like show up for her. But like I would just dwell over saying no to people over the stupidest things, and it would just build up so much anxiety within me, and then I would become resentful, and it was just like this thing. So boundaries for me is like something that's fairly new, but that's been like such a blessing for me in my life.
Amazing. The people pleasing one is so massive. Like we all have experienced it in some way in our lives, and what you were just touching on there, like how can I say no with love? And the best way we can do this is just by being honest.
Absolutely.
Like, look, I'd love to be there. My body just needs to rest at the moment. I wish you have an amazing time with the rest of the crew. Something so simple.
And how could you get mad at that?
You can't.
Like,
yeah, absolutely.
can't.
And if they do,
you
know that these people are not the right people to be in your life, because
Absolutely.
they're not respecting you, they're not respecting your body and your honesty.
Yeah.
So it's loving to hear that that's really coming into your life, and it was something so huge for the both of us, just really honouring ourselves first and being able to be integrous with what our body is trying to tell us, and being honest with that. I wanted to touch back to that shift from that postnatal depression to where you are now, just this glowing, beautiful energy. And
keep going.
And and what that, because there's so many people that are in these like not great places, and like, how the fuck do I get out of here? I know I understand the things, but what do I need to do? What are the steps I can take? How did Davvy do it? So there was the retreat I remember you mentioning, like taking that action on that, but what were the little things that allowed you to commit to something like that, to investing in yourself?
Like the retreat itself, like the retreat isn't even a thing. The retreat is just code for like time out.
Right.
For just like connecting with me again. So even, just taking a few days is space, like what you were saying, Rye, how you did the other day. You just took a day off and you grounded and you walked on the beach, and just doing those really simple things that like, honestly, when was the last time you did that? Because life is really busy. So just like kind of reconnecting with nature, and I'm a massive nature person. So just spending that time away for me was awesome. Making time for me in nature every day at some point, even if it's me, hanging out the washing. It's so glamorous. But like making sure like I do it barefoot, sitting down out in the sun for a little bit, or just like having my morning tea in the sun. Just like, and that's like, it sounds so sad, but that's like bliss for me. Like just 10 minutes, like that's bliss. I really enjoy, like I was saying, those dates with myself. So
I fucking love that.
It's my me time.
No,
it's like my date.
Beautiful. And you're saying you're a nature person. I feel like every single human being is a nature person.
Yeah.
We just sometimes don't identify with that. But when we can connect, like you're saying, feet on the earth, sun on the skin, even if it's for the 10 minutes a day, commit to yourself for 10 minutes a day for just you time, that presence, embracing the nature. It is so true. It's powerful.
And it doesn't cost much. You don't have to go to a retreat. Like, it doesn't cost much. And I think once I made my mind up, like sometimes people really feel like they might need to change, but they're just not there yet. And it doesn't matter what they do. They could buy all the collagen, all of the retreats. They could do all of that, but they're just mentally not there to commit, and they're not, they haven't had the aha moment. So for me, I just made my mind up. Like it was as simple as just being like, no, I'm going to put myself first. I'm going to do more for me. And every day I just do. Like every day I enjoy those little things that make me happy. And overall that makes my day happy. So I can't quite remember the question.
You've absolutely nailed it.
And it's the small things.
the small things. And coming back to that question I asked right at the beginning, was it a slow burn or was it a moment? It sounds like, yes, there was a slow burn, but there was that decision, that defining decision that you were like, no, this, from here on forward, I'm investing in myself, a little bit of time for me.
Yeah.
And every single moment of your life, of your day, you get to choose how you want to show up for the rest of your life. And for me, that was a defining moment in who you are today.
I actually, I think I have one of those personalities. I go from 0 to 100. And I think just like one day too, when I was on the retreat, I was just like, I'm just going to go plant-based. Like, just why not? It's something I haven't done. And whatever I'm doing right now doesn't really make me feel that great. So it would be kind of nice for me to put my mind to something where I'm like actively like being conscious when I'm preparing my food, or, you know, just it's like a new hobby. So I'm like, I might just try being plant-based. And I did that for the year until when I went into the jungle, I had to eat some weird stuff. And after that, it's kind of just been a bit wishy-washy, but I'm majority plant-based now still anyway. But from doing that, I just enjoyed preparing my food too and shopping for my food and finding new recipes. It was just like a fun new breath of fresh air into my life. And as a bonus, I had put on a fair bit of weight just from stress and obviously being a new mum, which is completely natural. But I think, you know, not looking after myself and being stressed out didn't help either. But I managed to lose 12 to 14 kilos in 4 months.
Amazing.
Wow.
Just from being like, hey, maybe I'm going to take some care of myself and go for a couple of walks here and there and just have more nourishing food instead of being need to buy diet pills, need to, the more harsh, aggressive.
Quick fixes.
This is the amazing thing about starting to replenish and regain that relationship with ourselves. And as we build that self-love up, we actually heal the relationships within everything. The food that we eat, the people we surround ourselves with, and the information that we put in our ears and eyes, right? It's the relationship with everyone. When you start healing in here, it heals everything out here. So you start to become aware of the food that you're putting in your body because you start to love it. And you start listening to it and taking note on, oh, that doesn't feel right in my body, or that feels a bit weird, that makes me feel a bit funky. When you start to identify these things and listen and make those fine adjustments, you're getting more energy, you're getting access, you're getting more inspired, getting more motivated. Game over, you're a new person in 3 months' time.
When I first met you guys at the Well Web thing, that was kind of like the beginning of my journey, really. Because I think that was quite early in the year.
Yeah. May? Was that May?
Yeah. So I think when it all kind of happened, it was January, and then come that time that I met you guys, I was just feeling great. And I met a lot of, I saw a lot of people at that event that I hadn't seen in ages, and they were like, whoa, what are you doing? You just look so happy. That's the best compliment is when someone just goes, you just look so happy. You look so light. And I was just like, wow, that's what I want to bring to the table. That's what I want to bring to the room. I want to bring the light and the happiness and stuff. And I actually had a moment when I was meditating the other week, and the one thing that just popped up for me was let your vibe introduce you before you do. And I was like, oh.
Wow.
And that just popped into my
energy.
head. And I was just like,
That's incredible.
That's what I want to do today. I want to be that person that comes into a room where people go, wow, she's happy. I feel better after hanging out with her. And that's definitely how you guys are for other people.
We're putting that quote on one of our yellow tiles on Instagram.
Yeah.
Let your vibe introduce you.
I love that.
That's copyrighted now. So, but yeah, so that's
good.
I think
Love that.
I just want to be happy, and I just want to be, operating at that high frequency and that high vibe, and that's what is the most important thing to me now. So every day.
The amazing, sorry, can I say something? The amazing thing about this is this started from an influencer event. Let's just highlight that. This started from an event that influencers were coming to influence on a Well Web event, right? It's a beautiful movement as well. But this is started, and we know that there's a lot of other influencers that came to that event that are making amazing conscious shifts. We're seeing it within our own eyes. That started from us being able to bring these practices in not such a woo-woo fashion, to give the opportunity for people to experience these things.
Mm-hmm.
And since that day, you've completely transformed yourself.
And also, like, you guys have had such a profound impact on my journey as well. Like, you really have. And you're one of my two of my favorite people to follow. And I love the content that you provide for us and the education and everything. So it's, I really make sure you touched on this. I saw a clip from you speaking about it earlier, but just making sure that you are surrounding yourself with the people that you are inspired by and that, motivate you to be the best version of yourself. And that's something that I've really tried hard to do too over the past 2 years, is just kind of like cut out. There's so many hot girls that I used to follow. Like, my feed was just like really hot girls in bikinis and like weight loss. Yeah, like weight loss programs and stuff like that. But it's like, that's not quite like, yeah, they're still super hot. But that's not quite inspirational to me now. Like, I don't look at that and go, oh, I'm going to get out of bed and go for a walk. Like, I would look at one of you guys giving me some like really heavy, sit down and think about it quote. And I'd just be like, I'm going to go for my walk this morning. Like, I'm going to go and ponder about that. And I'm just, it's funny how my priorities have changed and what I look at now as inspiration compared to what I used to, because like, that's what fuels my fire now.
Beautiful.
I love that.
Sharing. I was going to ask before, you were saying you just want to be happy now. That's like your what is happiness for you? How do you define that in your life?
Health, number one. Like, just feeling healthy and feeling well, like, that's so important to me. Like, I spent so many years not feeling well, and that's a whole nother thing. I got my implants removed, but
Big topic.
Big, massive, that's a whole nother thing. But I had like, some serious symptoms for like 12 years as well. So just feeling well and feeling healthy and being able to like provide, quality time for my family because I'm feeling good, So health is one, and just like a happy family, happy friends, like great close-knit family and friends. Like, that's happiness to me, and being able to share beautiful experiences. And
I love that.
I love that too. You've obviously built yourself up. You're your own brand. You're your own movement in a way. What is the most challenging part about that, and being able to really harness that happiness in without getting distracted with social media and needing to show up for others?
It's very simple now, because like, if I don't feel like showing up, I won't. So like, there's some days where I just like won't go online. And that used to be really hard for me, because I would feel such an obligation to, be there every day and to provide like riveting content, like, I'm not that exciting all the time, and I can have time out. So now it's like, I think it's coming back to that people pleasing thing. I've taken the stress off myself now, especially when it comes to my work on Instagram, that if I'm not feeling it, I do just kind of take a day away. And then like, motivation comes and goes with that stuff, and inspiration comes and goes. Like, I'm not going to just sit there and provide you with like basic shit if I don't feel like, they might like this recipe, or they might like to hear this, or, and there's no harm in taking time out either. Like, I don't mind popping on and being like, hey guys, sorry I haven't chatted to you in a while. This is what's been going on. It's not overly exciting, but this is what's coming up. So I'm not like a 24-hour like docu-series.
Just woke up.
Like, it doesn't need to be like that, which I understand now. So
Authenticity and being honest and being okay with not putting up any content every now and again is so powerful. Giving yourself permission to do that, and others actually become more inspired from that, instead of you showing up and continuing to do really little things around the house, and people are probably going to be like, what's Davvy doing? And then giving it space, giving it time, then coming on and saying something powerful from that place of energy, and it's actually excitement to be on your platform instead of like a chore.
That's it.
That's
Like you
amazing.
every day, like if you're getting on, hey guys, this is my routine. Like you can tell that like I'm just doing it, like because I'm getting paid to do it or something. So, like yeah, absolutely, I have sponsored posts, but like I want them to be authentic. Like I want you guys to see that like I am actually using this product to clean my house because today's my cleaning day. Like that's yeah.
Now I want to just shift or transition into your gorgeous little girl Mila, and how is being a mother? What are the key things that you've learned more about yourself from just having this little human replicate the things that you do, and how have you grown within yourself?
Well, first of all, they really are sponges. The F-bomb's been dropped a couple of times and she picked that up real quick. So I'm very aware of like how much she notices and like how much she listens. So I'm very conscious to like feed her the good stuff. And she listens to that wholeheartedly. Like every day she's like, I'm beautiful, I'm special, I'm strong in the mirror, and it's just so fun for me to watch. And I'm actually so proud to show people, you know, these videos because I show my mum and my mum's like mind blown because it's so different to how those other generations raise their kids. So my mum is just like, whoa, like she just loves me as a parent. She just thinks it's incredible and she's learning things, you know, as she's going as well. So yeah, it's really beautiful. And I all the practices that I love that make me feel good, like dancing and, you know, play and all of that kind of stuff where she can be creative and funny and just silly. I really embrace that with her because that's what makes me feel good. And it's like a great outlet for me. Like it's just, well, I have an excuse. I have a baby girl. And even when she's not there, I'm still doing that stuff. So yeah, it's kind of like having a little one is like getting to relive your childhood again. So yeah, I'm loving
so
this
beautiful.
one. Yeah.
I love that. It's funny, we've been in a similar sort of we're not dads. we've got Byron obviously, but no, we've been spending a bit of time with Jugsy and on these 4 drive trips, and he brings his kids. I think they're 5 years old, and then he's got a little one that's barely a year old. And it's that permission to drop back right into our inner child and just play, climb trees, play tag, run around, just right in the present moment. And like you're saying, all these things that we actually love doing that we've suppressed because we're adults now. Whereas like we need to give ourselves permission to let this through, let this shine, just dance like like no one's watching. And these things just really light us up.
And like the voices that come out of my mouth, like the things.
What are some of the
like,
voices?
Oh my God, like just some of the stuff that you say and you do just to get a laugh from them. But it's like that's what life's all about. Yeah. I think it was a quote, it's like, you know, I thought I would be teaching you all about life, but here you are teaching me what life is or something. Anyway, what life is all about. And I'm just like, wow, that just really hit home because I'm like, you know, I'm trying to teach her what I've learned in my 30 years, which I'm trying to unlearn is like this, what I think life is. But she's showing me what life is truly about. That's what life is truly about. Yep. Life isn't just this. It's not, you know, linear. It's beautiful, it's messy, it's like creative, it's fun. So yeah, I'm loving that.
And these are the things that we were taught through school, right? It's all the programming to be educated and to learn all of these things that we don't even use as human beings. But yeah, being able to see that mirror from your child Mila to go, oh, this is what we're actually here for, to play and experience and learn and grow and have fun and not take ourselves so seriously. Take the hat off, do a roly-poly. Me and Rue love doing roly-polies. Yeah. Like, yeah, that is what it's all about. It's the experience that life brings and being in this body to play with it and to inspire others to do the same thing. As Rue just said, if we can give people permission slips out all day, every day, to stop and to feel the sun kiss your skin. You know, this morning I was standing on the bridge and I was just looking up at the sun with my eyes closed and someone tooted as they drove past, and I'm sure that would have been my old self judging this person standing there looking at the sun going, look at this weirdo, you know?
Yeah.
But that may have sparked something in their head going, oh, that might feel good. I might give that a go. So if we can give these permission slips out, if we can be our most authentic self to inspire others to do the same thing, then you're making a change in the world. You're inspiring others, yeah.
And it does work. I think when you're feeling your best, it's contagious. Like even Jax, like, you know, when I came home from the experience, I'm like, and then we cried, and then this happened. Jax was like, sweet. But like, you know, you can see when something's, you know, when people have had a moment and they've had an experience like that really hits home for them, and you're like, I want some of that, you know? Like, so now Jax is so interested in breath work and,
Amazing.
you know, that kind of stuff too. And even if you're eating healthier or whatever, it's contagious. If you see someone's looking real good and really happy, you're like, I want a bit of that
See
light.
it.
How do I get that? So, yeah.
That's a big message that we spread, hey?
Yeah.
Be the change.
Be the change you want to see in the world.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Embody the energy that you want others to feel and to witness. It is just purely embodying it and showing up as that every day. They're going to feel that. They're going to be like, what the hell are they doing? I want some of that. And that's when the curiosity begins and they start asking questions. And when they start asking questions, that's when that growth journey happens and they start finding that peace within themselves, that love that's always there, that it's just been covered and suppressed over years. It's always there. And it's interesting, coming back to the happiness topic, someone sent me a video this morning and it was really beautiful, and it was a way that I actually resonate with these emotions of happiness and sadness. I feel like we always have a inner sense of peace. When we can become aware of who we truly are and what we truly are, we know that we're just this loving, peaceful energy. Always, and it is always residing within us. And yes, emotions will come and go. We'll have these elations, the joy, the happiness. We'll also have the sadness and the despair. But when we don't attach or identify with these emotions, we can allow them to flow and we can come back to that inner sense of peace more easily.
That peace is something that I've found in the past year, and it's something that I treasure, and it's just become the most powerful tool in my day-to-day life. Because I have always had the most busy mind, and it's definitely something that I can, like, even just then when you were talking about it, I was able to like bring myself there, and I was like, oh, that's right, like that. It does just feel like a comfy couch, like it's just this couch in your body, like it's just perfect.
Sure.
And that's something that's just made the biggest impact for me, is being able to find that peace and being able to find that stillness. And just to detach from the past and the present and just to be there. And I never even knew that was a thing. Like, I don't even think I've said the word mindfulness before 2 years ago, you know? So, yeah, I think just by spreading that kind of awareness, imagine the kind of humans that you're going to be interacting with.
Yeah.
And the kind of world that you can have. So, yeah.
It's the lack of education, and it's why we're doing it. Imagine if we could unlearn all of the definitions for these feelings and sensations. Imagine if we didn't know what that feeling or that tightness was called anxiety, right? The label is what gives it that weight.
Yeah.
When we feel it, we're like, oh, that's anxiety. I've got anxiety. I'm experiencing anxiety. Imagine if we didn't know and we're like, oh, it's a bit of a funky feeling, and just let that just flow straight out the window. Let it go. Move yourself into the next feeling or emotion. It could be love, it could be joy, but without attaching to those things, just feeling them in your body and going, that feels really good, whatever that is.
That's such an interesting way to think about it. Yeah.
Instead of going, oh, I'm feeling down and depressed and angry and hurt. Imagine just not knowing what that was. Imagine wiping your memory clean, not having any definition or label for anything, and going, whoa, and just riding that wave.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. With curiosity.
Let's breathe through
No
this
judgment.
for a minute. Yeah.
With no judgment, just pure curiosity for experiencing it as a human. Going, that was cool, whatever that was. Next thing.
And isn't it funny, like, once, say, if anxiety comes, how long it can stay, how long you can fixate on it, and how much damage you can do for your whole day. It can ruin your whole day. Anxiety over one small little thing. So, yeah, it would be beautiful just to be able to
Yeah.
let it pass.
Come
A
and
race.
let it flow. And so, Davvy, what is on the horizon for you in 2022?
Oof.
Yeah,
What's coming?
we got a wedding. We've got there's some exciting TV potential opportunities, which is really cool, and which is so cool for me to like want to do it as
Fun.
well.
Mm.
And like not be like, oh, if I said yes, how could this go bad? Like that's the least of my worries. So yeah, that's really exciting. And then to be honest, like I do have like work goals and personal goals, but it's kind of just, I don't know, this year's just about me.
Yes.
I still feel a bit awkward saying it, but it's
No.
true. Like this year is just about me. I just want to keep doing this. I
Yeah.
want to see where it goes because, to be honest, when I'm doing good, opportunities arise all the time. So, like, yes, I absolutely do have my own personal goals and stuff, but it's funny. I don't even want to call them goals because you end up, you know, exceeding your expectations every time when you're in a good flow and when you're in a good state. So, yeah.
I love that. And again, that's just another permission slip for others out there that they can just have a year for them, for me. And it's not selfish. You're actually doing a service to the planet, to those around you when you focus on you.
Yeah.
Because you start to come from a different energy and you can exude that into all things and everyone that you come in contact with.
And it's also not like that's like people think to achieve something this year, I need to have A, B, C, D, E. And just by saying you, that's not like a worthy enough answer. Like you is the most worthy answer. Like choose you every time. You don't need A, B, C, D, you know. You is more than enough for you to be doing this year, for sure.
That's how we expand. That's how we've expanded what we're doing. It's when we've been able to go to the depths of things that are blocking us from our past, unworthiness things. It's when we face them and we force them within us, we focus inward, that external just begins to expand. That energetic container, we can receive more love, we can give more love. And it all starts with inside, what we're doing in here and how we can navigate certain things, how we can hold space for ourselves to go to the even deeper, because there's always more layers, there's always more depth that we can go to, and it's about allowing ourselves to have that time, to have that space, because then the external world just transforms itself and it becomes somewhat irrelevant when you're so content in here.
Yeah, it comes to what you just said before. I'm excited now to go on these other programs because that's where you're at within your own self. You know who you are. You don't need to prove or justify or validate anything to anyone anymore.
Yeah.
Because you know who you are. You're safe in there. You're home.
And even if you do, say, trip on screen or,
Yeah.
you know, stutter or do something wrong, like,
Self-humility.
it's just like,
I'm a human.
it's me. People are going to laugh about it. People cry about it, you know, whatever. But it's just me.
And
like,
most
I'm
people
good where
forget
I am.
about it in 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah, yeah. There's always someone else tripping up. It's fine.
That's the thing.
So, yeah.
Like we get so caught up in our own minds of thinking that other people are thinking bad things about us. When you think about how many times do you think bad things about another human being, it is literally nearly zero.
Most people are too busy thinking bad things
Themselves.
about themselves.
That's it.
Yeah.
And it's just this constant loop, the cycle in our own brains. It's like, actually, I can just focus on what I need to focus on, and none of the external things matter. And the reality of it is, they're probably not even thinking about you.
I just, like, while we're talking about this, like, it actually just blows my mind that in a year of just, you know, this self-discovery, that I'm able to even just sit here with you guys, of all people that I think are just incredible and have taught me so much, to be able to talk about my journey as if I have a wealth of knowledge. It's just, it's mind-blowing to me. But it's funny how, like, there's no guidelines or there's no handbook. Like, you're kind of just, like, living your own life and figuring it out day by day. And you know, it doesn't matter when you start, you could be conquering your own journey in a couple of months, in a year, in a couple of weeks. Like, it doesn't take long for you to be able to feel like you do know what you're doing, even if you feel like you have no idea where to start right now. So, yeah.
Exactly that. And know that you've created this. You're the vibration. You're the vibe that's made us attracted to connecting with you. You've done the work. You're owning it. You're an inspirational mother. I'm sure that we've got so many mothers in the community. They're going to take so much from this chat. Absolutely. And as you continue to evolve and grow, keep on shining that. Keep on expressing that. You're amazing, and it's been awesome to chat and connect with you more.
Oh, thank you,
we're honoured to have you a part of this.
What, just before we sort of wrap things up here, things that Davvy does on a day-to-day, is there any things that are non-negotiables for you that you could share with the audience? If not, if you just, every day is different, that is also valuable information.
Well, something fun.
Yeah.
Since the beginning of the year, I've just been having cold showers every time, like every shower, morning and night. And so that's become like a fun little like non-negotiable thing for me. And because I was like just a notorious like hot shower, burn your skin.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. Like, people would come into the bathroom after me and be like, what is all of this steam? Like, what kind of shower did you just have? So something for me, I just was like, you know what, I'm going to be, mindful, and I'm going to have cold showers, and just like obviously all of the added benefits and things like that. Plus it makes me feel amazing. So I just feel so fresh and energized and just like ready for the day, even if I wake up a bit sluggish. If I'm in a bad mood, like, that's something that I really like doing as well. Like, a cold shower and some breath work will make me feel amazing. So that at the moment is something that's just like a daily ritual. So that's a non-negotiable at the moment. Don't know how long that will last through winter, but we'll see.
You got this.
And just a little bit of meditation. So even if I have a bad day, like, I time my meditations every day as well, and then I write down a little description each day. So today's was like good. It was only like 20 minutes or 21 minutes. And my little caption next to it was like, awesome. I got really deep. I like had this, like I was telling you guys earlier, I had just this kind of explosion of energy halfway through, which was very different. But then some days I'll meditate and it'll just be like the worst thing ever. I'll be like, I need to go do this. Like, I've got an itchy nose. Like, it's just, and then some days I'll just write shitty meditation, but like I got it done. But even those shitty meditations are like
learning.
I'm still noticing what I'm thinking, where I'm going, what my energy is getting drawn to, where my thoughts are getting drawn to. So it's still, 10 minutes of just at least sitting with myself. So yeah, meditation and just like that stillness is very important to me every day as well. But just also just being very aware and very not aware, sorry, where am I going? Like, just being very present. That's the word I was looking for. Being very present when I'm with my daughter. So and I'm sure everyone does, it's very easy to just be like, yes, play with your toys, and like, I just want to sit, I just want to lay. Like, it's very easy to be just like, the daily slog. But like, I just every day try and just really connect with Mila, really play, and just know that I've really given her like a good few hours of power and a few hours of time. And that's usually right at like bedtime for us. She's a generator. Are you guys into like your
astrological
like your
charts?
Yeah, so she's a generator, so she's just like runs circles around me.
Yeah.
But she always needs to get rid of like this last burst of energy, which is really inconsiderate because Jaxon and I are usually dying by this point. But I'm like, no, I'm going to get in there and I'm just going to be so into her and so full on. And, I can go to bed each night and just know like, yeah, she just got so much loving just then. Like, really, really, full on loving.
Jay Shetty talks about it's not people's time that we're after, it's their presence and energy. Like, you can spend all day with someone and not be present or not or not give energy. But if you have 20 minutes of focused energy and presence with someone, that is so much more powerful and so much more valuable for that connection.
Oh, so true. It's so true. Like, I have a girlfriend who will come over, or used to come over until I spoke to her about it, but would just like kind of sit on her phone the whole time. And it's the most distracting, like disappointing thing when you're like with someone and they've come to your house, or, you know, you've made the effort to go to their house and they're just not there. Like, I think I'm a very demanding person when it comes to energy. Like, I really want your attention when I'm with you. So when you don't get it, you kind of just feel like, irritated and resentful, and
Yeah, well, if you've invited someone over and they're on their phone, what that's saying and just shouting and screaming to you is that whatever's on their device is more important than you and your time and your space.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you're listening and you're going on a date with your girlfriend and you're on your phone during that dinner, mate, or boyfriend, like, stop doing that.
Yeah.
Put your phone in your pocket. And just as Davvy explained, like, if you're going over to someone's house and you've been invited, same thing. Stuff your phone. Give them an hour of your presence and then say, oh, do you mind if I get my phone for 20 minutes while I quickly reply? Absolutely. Yeah, when you're doing that and just putting all your energy into the phone screen, something that we've been talking to Byron about lately, it's not there. It's not there.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And I think it's the same with the energy you put into yourself and the time you have with yourself. Just make sure that time that you get, it's very rare. You're busy people, so just make sure that it counts. You're like really sitting within yourself, really doing the right things for you.
That is a beautiful way to look at it, because people think, I'm doing the thing, I'm spending time with myself, and they're sitting on their phone and
on Instagram,
or they're walking, they've got headphones and blaring music, and they're just not present. Like, you walk down the beach or the walkway down here that we do most mornings, and it's headphones in, they're distracted in some way, they're on the phone. There's very few people that are just present, walking, connected with their surroundings. And I really encourage people to try this. Try being present with yourself when you go for a walk. Don't take your headphones with you, don't take your phone with you, so you don't even have that option, and just be with yourself. And there's a lot of power in that presence. And yes, your thoughts may come and go, but just that presence and non-distractions in the external world can really allow us to figure out what needs to be observed within.
Yeah. And it's like what Ryan was saying before, like just letting those emotions go, because some people just can't not be distracted, because it is very uncomfortable to just go for a walk, because like the ego too, it's like, you know, what do I look at when someone walks past me? Do I smile? Like, it's just, there's lots to think about, because especially if you're not, you know, in that place of peace and you're kind of all over the place. So, just being able to like breathe through whatever comes up and being able to just let it pass and see how many times it's popped up into your brain. Why are you fixating on that one thing so much, you know?
Yeah, it's a practice.
Yeah.
It needs to be practiced. Just as we go to the gym and move the body, practice being present with yourself. Get caught in those thoughts. Think of something, or allow your mind to come back to something that's in the present moment. Oh, a doorknob, or a lid on the drink bottle. Oh, I'm back here now.
You know, something that I love is hearing. So like that's something that really brings me in.
Listen.
And so by saying in, I mean like bringing me into my body. So listening and really just listening to what's going on doesn't really let me have much time for thought or anything else. And I just find this really beautiful space. Once I listen, it's kind of like it just opens my head up. Wow. Because it's like my head, all the heaviness of anything that I might be thinking about or, you know, remembering or, whatever. Listening for me is like something that I really hone in on when I need some, you know, peace. But some people might say like they really focus on like their arms or their legs, or like seeing what like it tingles, or seeing what kind of energy they can feel, or the breath, bringing their breath in. And
It's tuning in with the present moment of the sensations that our senses in our body have. And I haven't actually heard that a lot. Many people that tune in with their hearing to find presence. That's really beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
I think that's the one thing I lose when I go off. So like you could be talking to me, but I'd be looking at you and thinking about something else completely. So if I can really listen, then that really brings me to the present moment. Yeah.
Wow.
I've been listening this whole time, by the way. I've been really listening.
I love that. And that's when you're in the present. That's when time disappears. Right? You know, when people say, where'd the day go?
Yeah.
You're present.
Yeah.
You're nowhere else. Time's warped.
Yeah.
Right?
And when your mind's busy and you're stressed and you're anxious, it's like time just goes very slow.
What's the time?
Yeah.
Well, you were mentioning this before about where's this? January's gone. And that's obviously you're very present with what you're doing. You're in that flow state. You're enjoying what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things that you start realizing time doesn't even really exist. I'm just doing my thing. It doesn't come and go. It just sort of passes a little bit quicker.
That you just said that because like you just saying time doesn't really exist. I was going to say that when you're like, what are your plans for the rest of the year? And I'm just like, I feel like it's already done. Like I feel like it doesn't exist. I can't make plans because it's just like, now we're getting really
let's go deeper.
Quantum physics time.
I was trying to figure out how to articulate that.
No, but like it's so funny that you said that because I actually felt like that when you were asking me about my year. So I get you.
It's beautiful. And that's the art of manifestation, right? You've seen it, you've experienced it, you believe with every cell of your body it's happening, and it's already happened. That is already played out. It's like what we do with everything we do. We create it in our mind, we live it, we experience it, we feel it, we become the person that we need to become to experience that thing or work through whatever that is. And then it's just a matter of time before that's happened, and it's happened in our reality.
Being the energy.
This makes me so excited. I could talk to you about this for hours, honestly. But I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Be the energy.
What do you reckon, bro?
How are we looking?
We've...
Oh,
what?
Shit, yeah.
There we go.
That just doesn't feel like it. It does not feel like it's been an hour. Because I was just thinking like, Rye's probably so hungry now. But like, I'm like, it's only been 20 minutes. It's fine.
Well, I would have probably guessed 40.
That's why I checked before. I was just thinking it's been like 15, 20 minutes. It was 45. I was like, holy dooly, in the vortex. And it happens every time we sit down here.
Yeah.
We've been trying to keep the ones with myself and Ryder 30 minutes. And then we have a guest on. We're just open to however long. But it would get to 30 minutes. We're like, shit, we've just started.
We've only just gotten through the how are yous. Yeah. No, I thank you so much for bringing me here, letting me spend time with you guys. I know I'm going to leave here and go back to Brizzy, and like the whole drive home I'm just going to be beaming thinking about just the quality chats and the quality time I've had with you guys, and I just find so much value in everything you have to say, and I'm so happy and impressed and proud with everything you guys are doing because I think you're going to change the world. So number one fan right here, and I'm just very proud of you guys.
Thanks, Davvy.
Before we let you go, before we click pause, we're going to do 10 quick-fire questions, and then one more question at the end. The easy, the fun. We like to keep it light here.
Okay, what's your credit card number?
Okay. Chocolate or cheese?
Chocolate.
10 years. Or are you able to see? Would you rather be able to see 10 years into the future or 10 minutes into the future?
10 years.
10 years. Interesting.
Oh, but that's scary too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you rather have to sing or dance to every single song you hear?
I heard you sing before.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
She's got a voice.
You heard me sing?
Yeah, he gave us a
I was like, were you in the car on the drive?
la.
So funny, I was actually, usually I would put a podcast on for a long drive, but I put like an old playlist on and I was fully singing. So it was raining as well, so it didn't matter if people were driving past me because they like need to focus on the road. So I was just like fully belting. So today I think I would say singing.
Yeah.
But usually I'm a dancing gal.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Fingers for toes or toes for fingers?
Fingers for toes, because then I could pick up double.
Love that.
Would I still have fingers though?
Yeah, you'd just
double
you'd double
fingers.
it up. You'd have 20 fingers.
Yeah. Imagine what you could do.
You're a summer or winter girl.
Summer.
Yeah. Same socks for a month or same undies for a week?
Same socks. Literally for a year.
Okay. Ocean or mountains?
Ocean.
Ocean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, mountains.
No? Mountains?
Yeah.
Bit of both.
Yeah.
No, you got to choose.
Yeah, I think
Mountains.
mountains.
Yeah.
Would you rather wear stilettos to sleep or slippers wherever you go?
Slippers. That's my life anyway.
Would you rather be able to speak any language or to be able to communicate with animals?
Animals. Yeah, absolutely.
What animal would you speak to first?
My dog.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Then what?
Then I actually have a bird living in my tree in my front yard. They just made a cute little nest with 2 eggs. So I would want to tell it like not to fly away every time I come up the stairs, because the poor little thing
Tell it
shits
it's safe.
itself
It's
every
safe.
time. I just want to
Here
be
she
like,
comes.
girl, you're good.
Good.
I got you. Need some water? Like anything?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it. And what would your dog say to you, do you reckon?
He'd probably be like, another schmacko. More food.
Last one of the 10. Would you rather be able to fly or be invisible?
Fly. Yeah.
And if Davvy had one message for the world to share, every human gets to hear this message, what would that message be?
You are worthy.
Boom.
It's amazing. I love that one.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
A lot.
Invest in yourself. You are worthy. You're worth the time.
Amazing. Thank
Davvy.
you so much.
Where can everyone find you?
Well, you can find me at number 10. No, I won't give you my address. No, but it's Davvy, DAVVX. Oh, no. Wow.
You need me to check for
DAVVYXX.
you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's DAVVYXX. That one got made when I was first on Instagram. I just can't be bothered changing it. So, yeah, DAVVYXX on Instagram, and that's about it. I really don't have time for anything else,
Get her on Insta.
like media platform-ish.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
She's amazing.
And
Get amongst her stuff.
obviously, television show, you got the children's books coming out. When
Yes.
when are you looking to publish those?
So, well, I've already got 2 out. So I've got a line of holistic children's books, which make
Yes.
beautiful gifts, mums, if you're listening. The first one's called Empowered Moo. So that's a beautiful affirmation book. And then the second one
amazing.
is named Mindful Moo. So that's all about mindfulness and stillness and, teaching kids deliberate awareness and how to manage difficult emotions, how to let them pass by, which is really special. So they're out. You can get them anytime. They're packed with love by me. So, yeah.
Amazing. Go get a wee book, everyone. And once again, thank you so much for
Thank you,
coming on today.
guys. Thank you so much.
Mwah.
Mwah.